Mr. Transformers 96 here. So in the video, I'm going to be doing my top 5 most anticipated hot toys from Avengers Endgame. Now, this is a video that's strictly going to be after I've seen the movie. I've seen the movie 3 times now, so this will be spoiler filled. Definitely recommend you don't watch this video until you've seen Avengers Endgame. But after seeing Avengers Endgame, they obviously kept a lot of stuff secret. So there is a ton of figures that have not been made from any company, but I am hoping that soon we'll start to get some of them now that the film is out. And so I have 5 figures that I would love to see being made for Avengers Endgame. So these are just my personal choices. Obviously, there's a lot of other figures they could do, but these are the 5 that I would like to see them do, and somewhat realistically would do. All of these, I think that a lot of these figures are actually going to be made and released, but all of these can be made and released. You know, everything's pretty realistic here. So let's get started. First of all, my number 5 choice would be Captain America from the first Avenger film. Now, they've made one before, as you can see at the bottom right there. That's the hot toy that they've made before for this movie. But I think it would be cool to get another one. Now, I do have that Captain America. That is my Captain America in my collection for hot toys, and it has been for the past 7-8 years. That's been my one Captain America hot toys figure. Just a couple weeks ago, I picked up the Infinity War one, and I do plan to get the Endgame one as well. But I think it would be really cool if they made an Endgame version of the suit, just so that they could update it. This was an old figure that I think a lot of people maybe weren't collecting hot toys at the time it came out, or just missed out on, or whatever it may be, and therefore want to get it in their collection. And this would be a good way for them to do it, to give us an updated, very cool version of it. It would be neat if it had a new head sculpt and everything, and they could do like an Endgame style Captain America head sculpt and a 2012 Captain America style head sculpt. They could do them both. There's just some fun stuff that you can do with them. They can have an exclusive accessory be the suitcase with the scepter in it. I think that would be neat as well. But yeah, overall, it'd be really cool to get a new figure of it. If it's different enough, like if it's not just a reissue of the one that they already did, I would definitely be interested in picking it up. It would also be cool to have 2 Captain Americas to kind of recreate that fight sequence in the film between Cap fighting himself, and that would be very cool as well. But just getting an updated version would be quite nice, and one with some more padding in the back area, because I've noticed that it's very flat. Although it's certainly America's ass, the hot toy is very flat, and I wanted to take a picture and post it on Instagram and put like America's ass, but it's such a flat one on the Hot Toys figure that they certainly need to update that to be more in line with the Endgame look. But yeah, overall, I think that would be very cool to get a new Avengers 1 Captain America from Endgame. Now, my number 4 choice is the Hulk. I'm sure that they're going to do a Hulk figure, and it'll be very cool to see it. I'll be interested to see like kind of what kind of design they give the Hulk, because if they do him in like this purple/gray color scheme outfit, really the only time he wears that is when his arm is crispy. So it would be weird, because they're certainly not going to give you the kind of burnt arm Hulk. I don't think that's going to happen. And I doubt they'll do the white suit, because they don't seem to be doing any of the white suits. So I'm not sure what kind of Hulk they could give us. I think just a regular Hulk, like with a shirt, would actually be really cool, to be honest. I enjoyed the Hulk in this film more than I usually do. I really enjoyed his personality, and I think that they finally found a bit of a groove with him that I personally prefer. He got a little too goofy in Thor Ragnarok as well as Infinity War, and I feel like they kind of mellowed him out a little bit, but still kept him fun in this one. So I definitely liked it. I liked where they went with him. But I'll be interested to see kind of what design or what costume they choose for Hulk for Hot Toys. But I think that's definitely going to be a very cool figure, and it'll allow them to finally give us a Hulk that doesn't have rubber arms, because obviously his arms will be covered regardless of what version they give us, and therefore his articulation should be a lot better too, which is nice. Now, next up, my number 3rd choice is the Rescue Armor Pepper Potts. I really enjoyed Pepper Potts in the armor in this movie. This was one of the things that was not a huge surprise, because she did post a picture of herself in the armor quite a while ago. So it wasn't shocking to see her like this, but it was just shocking to see her in the context that it was, at least. Watching her fight alongside Iron Man was super cool. The two of them, when they did like their back-to-back shot where the camera was swirling around them, absolutely fantastic. I really loved it. The armor itself was really cool. I like the color scheme of it. She looked very good in it as well, and I think that this is definitely, this character, because she has such a limited role in this movie compared to some of the others, I could see them not doing it. However, since it's Hot Toys and it's an Iron Man armor, I'm sure they will, just because that Iron Man armors are their bread and butter. I don't know how they're going to survive after Endgame, but I definitely think that we'll get Hot Toys of this, and it'll be very cool. This is one that I'm not 100% sure if I'd get, because I love the idea of it, and I can't wait to see it, like the Hot Toy of it. But I don't know if I need it like in my collection. It would be awesome though, but it is very cool, so I definitely want to see that. Now my second choice. Not 100% unique to Endgame by any means, but it's kind of Thanos' army, and particularly what I mean by that is the Black Order. I wanted the Black Order from Infinity War, and we basically didn't get them. They made Corvus Glaive. They've shown him at several conventions, but they've never put him on pre-order. But now the entire Black Order is back in Endgame, and therefore they could totally release it right now, and it would be timely and it would be perfect. It would be awesome if they could do some of the other figures as well, to be quite honest. But nonetheless, what I'm really asking for here is just that Corvus Glaive figure that they already made. Just put him on pre-order. That's what I want. I would like seriously love to get the entire Black Order. I don't expect that at all, but I could see them maybe after Infinity War realizing that there was a large amount of popularity for Ebony Maw at the very least, and Ebony Maw's back in this movie, so I would love if they did Ebony Maw as well. But even just the Corvus Glaive that they've already done, just putting that on pre-order would make me quite happy, because at this point I've kind of accepted the fact that I'm never going to get it, but with them back in the movie, now I'm like, I've got a little bit of hope restored in me to actually get that figure, and maybe even like an Ebony Maw. We'll see. I still, if I had to like judge whether I actually think it'll go on pre-order, I'm not sure, to be honest. I could see it going both ways, considering that they do keep showing Corvus Glaive. It's not like something that they just showed once or twice. They do, consistently show him, and like his look is exactly the same in Endgame, obviously. So I think it would be pretty perfect for them to release him. If they were ever going to do it, this would be it. So we'll see. In the next couple of weeks, hopefully we'll get that figure on pre-order, but it would be amazing to get some of the others, particularly Ebony Maw. Now, my number one figure that I want from Endgame, that I never in a million years, if you told me before Endgame came out that I would want this character as my number one, I would have totally not thought so. But this character actually was my least favorite part about Infinity War. The scenes with this character were really dragged and could be cut out of the movie, in my opinion. However, in Endgame, he was actually my favorite character, and just every scene that he was in Endgame really brightened the mood. I absolutely loved it. But that would be the Avengers Endgame Thor figure. Very surprised with this myself, to be honest. I never expected this. But I loved what they did with Thor in Endgame, to be honest, and I didn't think that they were going this route at all. I don't think anybody did. I never heard any speculation for this. But to give us the depressed Thor that became like a fat Thor was hysterical on its own, but it wasn't even just a joke. Although Thor was a lot of the comic relief in the movie, he was also serious as well. He got closure with his mother and kind of learned to forgive himself for not going for the head, essentially, which is a nice arc for him anyway. But he also, he wasn't just a joke with his weight either. Like, that was a joke for the majority of the film, but at the end he's badass. Fat Thor, armored up, he's a total badass. So it was really great. I absolutely loved it. I want a fat Thor. I like his new hairstyle. I'm glad that he's back to the long hair, to be honest, and I like the kind of braided effect that it had when he got all armored up, and wielding both the hammer and the axe as Stormbreaker was really amazing too. Especially even after Cap gets the hammer, when he takes it back for a moment at the end, and when he's fighting Thanos with it, he's got Stormbreaker up against Thanos, and then just to get some more like support and some more leverage, he calls Mjolnir and wraps that around Stormbreaker and uses it. All that was super cool. And then Cap came up and helped him try to help choke Thanos out. I thought that was fantastic. So Thor is the character that I certainly never expected I want another hot toy of, but I really want another fat, braided hair Thor. I thought he was fantastic, and I'm also excited for the direction that they're taking him in with the Guardians route. I think that he is going to be a great addition to that film, and his dynamic with Star Lord is hysterical. It was very funny in Infinity War, and it's very funny in a totally different way for Endgame too. So yeah, overall, I'm very excited for it. I hope that he doesn't just lose the weight by the next film. I hope that Chubby Thor is we get him for at least another film, or at least another half of a film. I think that that would be great. But anyway, really looking forward to a Hot Toys Thor, and I would absolutely buy it. Obviously, it's really hard to find a good picture of him. And what's funny though, and kind of, I don't regret it, but the Thor from Endgame, because they use that to market him in or sorry, the Thor in Infinity War, they used like images of him from Endgame, or sorry, from Infinity War to market Endgame, like the one on the right here, and then the one on the left is actually from Endgame, like the bottom. I expected him to have the same look. It seemed like on all the posters and everything, he had the same costume. He's got the short hair, and he's still wielding Stormbreaker. So I totally expected him to have the same look, and therefore I bought the Endgame, or sorry, Infinity War Hot Toys Thor already, so I have the Infinity War one, which I still like. It's still cool and all. It's the figure itself is actually really great, but just costume wise, it's not very iconic because it was really only used for like the end, I guess you can call it, of Ragnarok and then throughout Infinity War, and I wasn't a big fan of Thor in Infinity War, so I bought it expecting it to be his look in Endgame, so that was a total swindle, and I'm a little disappointed that I bought it. I don't totally regret it or anything. It's a great figure, but I just think that it wasn't as necessary as I once thought it was. But this new Thor I would absolutely love, even if it's really just his look for this movie. I liked him so much in this movie that I totally want it. So there you go. That's my choices for my number one being Thor. Number two being the Black Order or just Corvus Glaive himself. Number three, Pepper Potts' rescue armor. Number four, the Incredible Hulk. And number five being the first Avengers, the 2012 Avengers look for Captain America as seen in Endgame. So there's my top five choices of Hot Toys that I'd like to see Hot Toys make for Avengers Endgame that have not been shown quite yet. There's still a ton more that you can do. Obviously, War Machine's like Iron Patriot Buster machine, whatever his armor is at the end of the movie, that's one that they could totally do. Captain Marvel with her short hair, totally be done as well. And trying to think, is there anything else that hasn't already been shown that I haven't mentioned yet? I think for the most part, that's about all the figures that I could think of them doing. For the most part, obviously they can do Valkyrie and stuff, but I don't know if they really would. But overall, really loved Endgame in general, and can't wait to see some of these Hot Toys, especially Thor. I wonder how long they're going to wait before they show Thor, because I do believe that they will make him, but I think that they're going to wait a bit so that, because his look obviously is a massive spoiler, so I think that they're probably going to wait. But I would love that figure and all these figures on this list. So let me know what you guys think of my choices. I'd love to hear your guys' choices, and thanks so much for watching.